Together we pledged to track down the Fiendish Five, avenge my father, and steal back the Thievius Raccoonus. I knew I was about to face the toughest test of my life. On this mission, I would either become a master thief like my ancestors before me, or fail and allow my family name to bite the dust.
So, there's been this very weird phenomenon with the Sly Cooper series, and it's that everyone you talk to who's played video games or who does play video games has played or heard Sly Cooper but completely forgot about the game series. When you think of PlayStation exclusives, you think of Ratchet & Clank, Jak and Daxter, Spyro, or Crash Bandicoot, but when it comes to Sly, everybody goes, oh yeah, that's right, I forgot about that one. It's a game that's considered as a PlayStation hidden gem, which is odd, because when the Sly Cooper games were coming out regularly, they were pretty big deals. It got a spot on PlayStation's greatest hits, all the games were ported to PS3 as a trilogy collection, and it was praised for its compelling story and simple but dynamic gameplay mechanics. It was also getting a show, or a movie, whatever the fuck it was. I don't know what the hell was going on back then. But why is a game series that good and that big so forgotten about, and why do I think it needs a sequel in today's gaming market? I first want to get some things out of the way before I get into the juicy bits, so I'm probably going to put in some timestamps for each chapter or put chapter markers on the YouTube video so you guys can customize your experience. The first Sly game, Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus, starts off with the story following a raccoon named Sly Cooper. We play as this character getting ready to break into a police station, and after we steal Sly's file from the police station, we get chased down by a fox named Carmelita, and after our encounter with her, we get into the background and story of our main character. Sly comes from a history of master thieves, and the thing you need to know about the Coopers is they don't steal from ordinary people. They steal from rich people, other criminals, and corrupt political figures. When Sly was a kid, his mom and dad were killed in front of him, and the people who killed them were known as the Fiendish Five, a rival gang consisting of Panda King, Clockwork, Raw Lee, Ms. Ruby, and Mugshot. The reason why they were aimed at Sly's parents was because they wanted to steal a book called the Thievius Raccoonus. It's a Cooper book passed down from generation to generation. All of Sly's ancestors have written in this book, sharing their knowledge on how to be a master thief, and anyone who reads this book can obtain these master thief abilities. So when the gang tore Sly's house apart and eventually found the book, they split it in 5 ways, going around the world practicing the knowledge they gained from the book to do not so awesome sauce crimes. The game has you stealing each page of the book back from these guys and defeating the Fiendish Five, making Sly Cooper become the next master thief of the family. I remember playing this game one summer when I got a stack of games my dad's friend gave me, and not a lot of games give me a nostalgic feel like I once had, except for Sly and Splinter Cell. When I was living with my dad at the time, we had a 2-story beach house, and in the living room there were these 3 huge windows overlooking the sidewalk, road, beach, and the ocean, with a few trees in the overlook. And when my dad got this new form of technology called the flat screen TV, he propped it up so when you were watching a movie, shows, or playing video games, you could look up over the TV and see trees and ocean. And the best time to start playing video games in my eyes was at sunset, so it created a nice backdrop giving you a kind of warm contrast to your game. I remember popping Sly Cooper in after playing Uncharted for an ungodly amount of hours, and I couldn't have put it in at a better time. So my dad loves music, he's a fucking fanatic about that shit, so it only made sense for him to wire 5 $900 wall speakers around the house so he could listen to his music anywhere you go. And my dad specifically perfect music tastes are funk, soul, blues, and jazz. Now when I played Sly Cooper, I put it in as the sun was setting, and my dad was playing Almost Blue by Chet Baker, and if you don't know who Chet Baker is, he's basically the guy who said, "Hey, a stink-ass white boy got some moves too." He's mostly known for being the poster child of cool jazz in the 50s, and being known for that booger sugar. His instrument was the trumpet and his vocals, and if you guys still don't know who he is, you most likely heard this song.
I fall in love too easily.
And this music that was playing in the background giving a soft ambience to the game, and because the sun was setting, it gave a perfectly warm, comforting feeling to the game's art style. So every time I play Sly Cooper, it brings me back to that warm feeling with the sunset and the ambient jazz in the background. I think the huge reason for why it would be best to get Sly back into the light with a sequel is that video games today have no identity, no substance, and they all have the exact same thing going on with them. Open world with action RPG elements and half-baked stealth with some cover-based third-person shooting, or Dark Souls, the same copy and paste 2D games, cinematic, ultra-realistic, and highly immersive like Sim. Sly isn't any of those things. It's a third-person tune-shaded game where you go around a big, open, segregated area as a humanoid raccoon animal, stealing from other humanoid animals like hippos, dogs, or lizards, and your main sources of help is a humanoid hippo and turtle. The game is what companies don't want to come out with because it's too risky, and I think that's the perfect time to get risky with projects like that. If nobody other than indie game studios aren't willing to put in that risk, there's an opportunity right there, because that means there isn't a whole lot of competition. I just think we need something else. We need to go back to something simple again. When games broke the immersion for the sake of fun and embraced what they are as video games, that's when games were at their peak. Companies were coming out with so much risk and a lot of them didn't work. We had a lot of games from the early 2000s to 2010s that didn't slap, but we also got some of the greatest games coming out of that era. I know I'm sounding like, well, back in my day, but it really is prevalent in the time we're in with video games today. I mean, they tried to make a sequel to the Ratchet & Clank 2013 game and make a movie or a show that went kind of how you guys think, which prompted PlayStation to pull the plug on the future Sly Cooper show or movie or whatever the fuck they were doing with that. I just think it's time for more AAA game devs to get on the bandwagon and go full hog on just risking it all, because at least we know if it doesn't work, they can just go right back to that cash machine. A lot of models with games now are centered towards kids. I know it's been the model for games since the beginning of time, but in this day and age, it's being pushed harder than ever. Rated M games are banning people for saying fuck because it's vulgar language or it's abusive. This is just because it's for the kids. They want to make it more kid friendly because they know they can just squeeze the living dick cheese out of that market. It's all companies want to target now, because instead of making a game that's more adult friendly, why not just make a game that's more everyone friendly? The Sly Cooper series is both of that. Sly has jokes that kids would never get, but adults would, but also preserving that kid-friendly look. Sly Cooper, Ratchet & Clank, Jak and Daxter, and Crash Bandicoot all came out in a time where companies didn't really care because they wanted to make something good and something new. I think that's the best step in the direction for a new Sly game. Because, I mean, look at Naughty Dog, and Insomniac just trashed Ratchet & Clank. Crash Bandicoot was fine. So really the only one I see bringing games out of the depths of being the same garbage low effort games is Sly Cooper, because Sony still owns that IP, and the only people that would make sense to trust with it is Sucker Punch, because they made the first 3 games, and as soon as another game dev stepped in, that kind of went wrong. And Thieves in Time ended on a cliffhanger, so there could be something with a 5th Sly game. But to be honest, it's not likely Sony and Sucker Punch is having that idea, given one of the Ghost of Yote devs said more than half of the dev team would quit if they were called to make a Sly game. But I do think it is something worth thinking about.